everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and today I have some more picture book recommendations for you. These are books with animals as the main characters. Typically speaking, I do prefer books with human characters, although because there's a tendency I think in picture books to have animal characters do all those things and make it more palatable, possibly for parents rather than for kids. But that said, there are some truly, truly amazing picture books with animal characters that tell very, very powerful stories. So the first one I want to talk about is Fearless by Colin Thompson, and this one's illustrated by Sarah Davis, and this is about a family who adopt a dog. And we open up the story thinking about names and how names relate to people and animals. And so you have these characters walking past a dog shop and you've got the names of the dogs there. So there's Lightning and Cuddle Pie and Princess, and how not every name matches every dog, like not every name matches every person. This family adopts a dog and they call him Fearless, except he's terrified of absolutely everything. Everything scares him. So there's discussion around his name not really matching his character. It's funny, there's a lot of little things that happen that make kids laugh. However, there's one night in this story where someone breaks into their house and this dog, who is the sweetest dog ever, is like, oh, who's this person? Has this person come to visit the family? And then, oh, why is this person touching mum's things? Why is this person on the table? Because the person gets very scared of this dog who's trying to talk to him by barking, but comes across as very fierce. And it's so sweet and so cute. And then there is a second book called Fearless in Love as well, which is also gorgeous, but it's just a stunning little story. But it is a really good book to discuss what it means to be fearless, and you can have really great conversations and do all sorts of activities around that. Then there is Peggy. This one is written and illustrated by Anna Walker, and it's absolutely gorgeous, very watercolor-like. And this is the story of Peggy, who is a black chicken who lives just outside of the city. Now this one actually takes place in Melbourne, so if you're looking for a book that's set in my city, it's this one. Peggy lives in a small, quiet street, and she has a normal life. She spends a lot of time talking to the pigeons and jumping on the trampoline and living in her little house. And the end papers for this book are absolutely gorgeous because you actually see where Peggy's house is and how far away the city is and how you get there on the train. At the end of the story, you have the same papers, but there's a little change here on the train. Anyway, one day there's a big blustery day and Peggy is swept up by the wind and swept off to the city. And she lands there and she's very new to the city. So she starts to wander around. So she sees all sorts of new things. And for anyone who's interested, this is Collins Street, which is one of the very big streets in the city. When I was going into the city, I would always walk down Collins Street. And as she's in the city, she has all sorts of experiences. But then she decides she wants to go home. So she gets on the train and she goes home. And she's following someone who's carrying sunflowers. And then suddenly she gets off at a train station and she doesn't know quite where she is or how to get home from there. And so her friends, the pigeon, stop by and they help show her the way home. And then after that, it's implied that, you know, Peggy goes back to her normal life and then occasionally catches the train into the city. So it's very, very cute and just gorgeous. This one, I've always done a fingerprint activity with the kids where we make little chickens and have them flying through the sky. It's so fun. Then there is Herman and Rosie by Gus Gordon. This is another really gorgeous story. This one's actually set in New York City and we have gorgeous maps on the end papers as well. Herman and Rosie both live alone in apartments in the city. They're both musicians of a kind and they're also working jobs that either don't inspire them or are about to finish, and they have many things in common, as we find out in the story. And the thing is, in this story, you get a lot of symbolism of these two people who live very, very close to one another. They can hear the music that the other person is making and they're constantly almost coming into contact but never meeting, like sitting outside the same cafe but at different tables, or walking past each other on the street, but they don't know each other yet. And there's a really cool part of the book where we see the different paths that they take and where they cross paths but never actually meet. And it's a really cool thing to discuss with kids. And they keep hearing this music that each other are making, and then eventually it becomes too much and Rosie starts to track down this saxophone music that she can hear, and that's how they eventually meet. And it is so gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. Can't remember if I said that the author's name was Gus Gordon, because I have another Gus Gordon book and this one is a recent favorite of mine, and that is Wendy. So Wendy is a chicken. And she's not just any chicken. She wants adventures, she wants excitement, she wants to be a star. And so she tries all sorts of things while she's living on her farm. She's very, very adventurous. However, One of her adventures, where she's walking on a tightrope across the barn, doesn't go quite to plan and she ends up in hospital and is recovering. And there she meets a bear called Bob, who is a motorcycle stunt bear. So Rosie decides to become a motorcycle stunt chicken, and every time she has a show, she just tries bigger and bigger stunts. And then, you know, to the point where eventually she also has her own accident. And she has to decide whether or not she's going to continue being a motorcycle stunt chicken or whether there are other things that she can do. And it is just so fun. This one is fantastic storytelling. Gus Gordon is just an absolute master. It is so worth picking up. It is such a good book. So those are my animal picture book recommendations for today. In the comments below, let me know if you have any recommendations for great picture books featuring animal main characters. And if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave a chicken emoji. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.